Ooh. Uh. Hi. Hello, Internet. I'm me. And this is Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger episode. Oh. I'm late. Hello, Internet. I'm me again. And, party. This is Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, and Kamen Rider Fourze. We're gonna have to mash them together again. Hooray! So I don't have much time to talk. It's Tuesday. Yeah. Alright. No, it's going to be Wednesday when this goes up. That's great. Anyway, this is a fun week. This is a week where a little thing that actually kind of caught my attention happened, where both of these shows actually had their two-parters in. Oh, wait, no. You had one two-parter in and one two-parter begin, so never mind. Anywho, let's start off with Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, because that one is the easiest to get through really quickly. Alright, as we all know, in the last Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, the Dawn has been called, been ridiculed a lot for being a weakling and a runaway whenever it comes to a fight. And it actually turns out that he now is a legendary hero who killed a dragon that killed planets, and he beheaded it and killed it. And of course, with this, he gained some new confidence and was like being treated nicer, sorta, by the team. And as they were going out, Damaras breaks out of prison, technically getting set free, but still he could have broken out at any time, and joins forces with Bosco to hunt down the Kaizoku Sentai and kill them all and bring Marvelous to the Emperor. And that's pretty much what happens. Joe, Luca, Guy, Aime all go disappearing, supposedly dead. And spoiler, no, they're not dead. And Marvelous is captured, and Dawn is left on his own. The episode actually does pick up with Dawn freaking the hell out, and it opens up with Marvelous being brought to the Emperor, and Marvelous actually kind of insulting the Emperor in his snarky little, I thought the Emperor would have something better to do than come to this backwater planet, and almost getting his ass kicked again. And of course, right before they can kill him, the Emperor actually has a smug sense of, I don't know the word, but anyway, says that instead of just killing him here quickly and be done with it, let's make him an example to the rest of the planet by killing him in front of everybody on the surface of the planet. So, as Dawn is looking around for, Navi is looking around for the rest of the Kaizoku Sentai team, Dawn is actually sulking around in negativity and emo-ness. Actually, he pulls it off quite well because it's well-deserved. Because it turns out Dawn actually made up the whole thing about being the Dawn Dodger. How? He made up the magazine article that said that he was a legendary hero who was lost. And also, he actually drew the star birthmark on his arm. So the whole time he was actually nothing but a liar, even though it was technically supposed to just be a prank. And this brings Don's self-esteem a lot lower than usual, even making him think that he can't go and save his friends because he's not only a liar, but they died only believing a lie that he told them. That's dark. That's heavy and dark. Dang, Japan, you're heavy and dark. Huh. This is a kid's show. God knows what happens in the adult shows. Anywho, so Dawn, after having a stern bitch slap from Navi and a stern talking to, decides to go out and save Captain Marvelous as he's about to be publicly executed, while Bosco watches and Damaras is reveling in his victory. And of course, Joe comes up. Dawn. Joe, dang. Somebody pointed out that I confused the two, and it's because of the three-letter word. I know it's weird, but it's me. Anyway, Dawn actually comes up and shows up in front of Damadas, taking on all the forces, even though he knows he's outnumbered and can't take them all on his own. What he's actually doing is getting Damadas's attention, or at least pissing him off long enough to get him to come down there and try to fight him, while Navi actually sets Marvelous free and flies him over to Dawn's side. And of course, he still doesn't have his morpher, so Dawn and Marvelous, of course, not having another team, or the morphers, well, Marvelous doesn't have his, but Dawn does. They both are standing up against Damadas, ready to go, ready to kind of die. But instead, the rest of the team shows up, shooting Damadas. Turns out that Bosco and Sully actually saved the team right after he did his awesome special final move, covering up the fact that they escaped through the explosion. So what happened? Well, Bosco portrays Damadas by literally stabbing him in the back with a sword, because, well, these guys are really good treasure hunters, and he needs them to get the rest of the ultimate powers and get the ultimate treasure in the universe. Pretty solid plan. And with his help, with their help, Bosco can actually take down Damadas, which he can't do on his own. So he gives back the morphers to everybody. They get together, they Gokai change, and they kick ass. And of course, Damadas does not go down easy, taking up 2 full Gokai Galleon Blast. And actually, something interesting happened. The Gokai Galleon Blast, after one shot, the person who charged up the shot cannot use it anymore. I did not know this, because, or that's the theory I'm getting, because after Marvelous uses his Ranger Key to fire the blast, he can't use his to either charge up the Gokai Galleon blast or even switch it on again. So, for those of you who always ask why don't they just use the special move now you have a reason. It has to charge. When it says red, don't charge, it's actually taking the power out of the key. So without the power, when you use that key, it becomes null and void and useless. That's pretty freaking interesting, and I thought that was pretty cool. And it also gives Dawn a chance to use the Gokai Galleon Blast. And of course, he turns giant in a really cool mech battle, or giant battle. They use all the powers most of the powers they got to defeat Damadas and win the day. What did I think of this episode? This episode is actually a good 10 out of 10. Very exciting, awesome, and actually very interesting episode, to the point to where mostly coming from the fact that we don't still know anything about Dawn at all, because what he told us of his past was a lie. And still, we don't know where he came from or why he was in that shack building things. We just know that he was there. We don't know anything past that. So there's still some mystery and intrigue to his character, which I can't wait to see in more episodes, even though I know in the next, I think it's 9 episodes left, the series ends. Or the season ends. I wish this would go on a lot longer, though. Anywho, that's a 10 out of 10. I wish I could give more detail, but again, I'm late. So, let's go on to Kaizoku Sentai. Kamen Rider Fourze. And, yeah, it doesn't have as much of a good, fun name to yell, so, whatever. Okay, Kamen Rider Fourze. This episode is actually about a Christmas getting ready special. Yes, so instead of actually making this a Christmas special this week, they are actually getting ready for the Christmas special next week. So, this is an episode where pretty much after using the double limit break with the Rocketo drill switch. Sorry, I'm not going to do the sound effects. I don't have time for this. So, after using the double limit break, the rocket and drill switches are useless. They're gone. So, that actually answers a question that I thought of. You can do a double limit break. What would happen if you do that? It makes the switches useless by draining their cosmic energy. This has actually been a good week in actually explaining the mythos of the series themselves. So I'm actually pretty happy with both these episodes this week, and I'm actually going to pretty much give a high five to both of them. A computer high five, whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, those two are useless now. And of course, this is a prep for Christmas time, so not much in the way of story this time. So pretty much all that there is these three guys come up to Yuki wanting to have her come in for a Christmas singing pageant thingy that they do for children every year, and they need a strong female voice, so she goes. And of course, Gintaro is going around and meets this guy painting on a roof, and he keeps getting distracted. I'm skipping a fight because it really doesn't do much at all. Trust me, it doesn't matter if you see the fight or not. The fight is pretty good, don't get me wrong, but it's not really contributing to the story too much. It's just that he shows up, he fights for a second, and then he turns something to stone, then leaves. That's it. No real repercussions. And that's the thing I don't like about Kamen Riders sometimes, that when they are trying to pad these things out to 2 episodes, some of the fight scenes and some of the actual character introductions are completely and utterly useless. Anywho, the three out of the 3 musicians or singers, sorry, one of them is actually very special because he's going to be the second Kamen Rider or secondary rider. So just keep that in mind. That's the only really important part of this whole episode, other than we figure out how a Zodiart is born. Not a small Zodiart, a biggie Zodiart. And actually, it turns out that the last one, if you can overcome the last one, you actually do become a Zodiart. And yes, I'm skipping everything about this episode and giving you the actual important facts. And it turns out that the Zodiarts, right now, they only have 4. Only 4 of them. Which is the teacher, the teacher, and the new principal, and 2 others we don't know about. But what their mission is in this school, which is finally explained, is that they are going around and changing children into Zodiarts to amass all 12 of their leagues. So yes, there's going to be 12 Zodiarts, and they're going to go around and pretty much make all the children in the high school, find them, make them go through the switches until one is finally turning into a Zodiart, until 8 of them are all there, and they will have the 12 set of Zodiarts, which is pretty cool. Now, why do I skip everything else? Because it was all leading up to that. Other than that, you don't need to know anything. You need to know that the painter is a Zodiart, which is obvious, and he's hypnotized. So, yeah, there's that too. And we actually get to see the principal turn the female teacher into a Zodiart for the first time, and that's pretty much it. Due to the fact that this is a setup episode, that's all the information you kind of really need. Other than that, there's not much else. There are some comedic events, like especially with the suspenders teacher, who's still my favorite character, going around and finding the 2 Zodiarts talking in their human form, and he keeps misunderstanding them for a romantic couple. It's always funny. It's really funny to me, and I think it's one of the best parts of the episode, other than the actual explanation and the build-up to the secondary writer, who actually is not appearing until the next episode for a Christmas gift. Get it? And for honest reasons, he's coming out of hell nowhere to me. Like, for now, he's coming out of hell nowhere. Out of just total left field, secondary writer. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm pretty sure the show will explain itself like it normally does and prove my ass wrong. Until next time, though, this is a 9 out of 10 episode. Not bad, but not a lot of important information. Not a lot that you need to pay attention to, except for the end parts. Other than that, it's just a nice episode to enjoy. So, until next time, y'all, peace.